Alright, so it is time to get started on our warm-up today. We're going to bring in our all-time favorite, the floor wipe that we did on Monday for 30 reps for quality. Let's see if we can get some good sets of 3 in today in the warm-up. Let's tune to Kenneth and William here. We have no material needed for the warm-up. They're already on the floor. They're not doing a rebound from the ROM-WOD because no ROM-WOD here, right? Eat your heart out. No, we're going to start off with laying on the floor, arms out to the side, legs together, and we're going to start on our floor wipe. We slowly bring our legs towards one hand, and we stay as close to the floor as possible and reach to the other hand. If this is very tough for you to do, you can, like Kenneth, start bending the legs a bit, but still aim to keep your legs as close to the floor as possible while maintaining and going to this very big range of motion. Perfectly executed floor wipes and easy to scale by bending the legs even more. Now, our second movement will be the alternating Cossack squat. Very good to get warmed up in that squat bottom. Also good for mobility of the ankle. We're going to get a wide stance going. We're going to sit to the right side first, gentlemen. So we squat to the right side, we hold it for a second, we come back up into the middle, and then we reach to the other side. In this variation, the idea is to keep both feet firmly planted into the floor. You can also rotate into the heel, but for now we don't do that. We just stay in the entire foot. Make sure your knee is pressed into the side of your foot to give some space in your hips to actually move back and forth. Now, the third movement will be on the floor again. And on the floor we will perform a reverse plank hold. So, you're going to go on the floor, you're going to have your hands underneath the shoulder, legs are out far, legs are together. You're going to drive up your hips by squeezing your butt, your heels are on the floor. This is a very good shoulder stretch. You're going to hold this for 20 seconds, but if this is very hard, you can, like Kenneth, also bring your legs in a bit, which makes it slightly easier for you to perform because the legs are closer to the middle of the body. If stuff is closer to the center, it suddenly becomes a bit easier on the core. We just showed you all 3 movements of the general warm-up. It is now time to get off the couch and join us for actually performing the warm-up. The warm-up itself will have 3 rounds, and we're going to start off with 3 floor wipes, and we will start in 3, in 2, in 1, and go. So at home as well, you move with us now. We'll go from one arm all the way close to the floor to the other. And now you might understand the name of the movement because we're trying to wipe the floor with the feet here. We're moving that big, so this is a perfect exercise to warm up the core. And also strengthen the core, obviously. Your core can never be strong enough, ladies and gentlemen. So you slowly go to 3 reps. Kenneth has his legs bended, William has them straight, so Kenneth has a slightly easier variation. The closer your limbs are to the middle of your body, the easier it is in the core. Now from there, if you're done, you will stand up and you start in your 8 alternating Cossack squats, meaning you only do 4 reps a side. If you guys are faster than us, that is all good. If you are slower than us, that is also all good, because the idea is to do all of this just at your own speed. Really start initiating from the hip and drive your knee to the outside of your foot when you're moving back and forth through these Cossack squats. Stay as upright as you possibly can, obviously. Upon completion of all 8, you can move to the floor, you can place your hands underneath your shoulders, and you can make a reverse plank, and you're going to do that for 20 seconds. I just want you to count to 20 in your head for this one. Now William needs to drive his butt up a bit higher if he can, which is also very tough on the shoulder, which is actually what we're trying to stretch. And Kenneth's going to walk his feet in a tiny bit to make it slightly easier. It's more like a tabletop position instead of a reverse plank, and they're finishing off there at 20 seconds. Now that was just 1 round. I hope you did this with us together. Otherwise you still have to do all 3 now. If you started with us, it is 2 more rounds on your own speed. So continue and press pause. So what we've had a lot in the homework workouts is plank challenges. And there's another one for you guys today. We have 4 different movements that probably are all familiar. The rep schemes are slightly different. And the concept is this. You need to try and stay the entire round in a plank and never come out of that thing. If you feel like because of that quality of movement is going down, I do need you to take a break after each movement, but make it as quick of a break as possible, and then take longer rest upon completion of the last movement of a round. Now let's have a look at the 4 different variations in the plank that we're going to combine today. Now, Kenneth and William are going to go into their elbow plank first. Now, from the get-go, William is going to have his legs stuck together, and Kenneth's going to have wider legs in this one. We're going to make rotations to a side plank, starting with the right arm. We're going to hold that for a second to show you guys what it looks like. You're going to rotate back, and then they move to the other side. Because William has his legs glued together, he moves to a less of a stable base because his feet are on top of each other. Kenneth has 2 feet on the floor when he rotates, so he has a more of a broad base, which makes it a bit easier in the stability part of the plank rotation. Alright, now you guys can rest for a second. Now the second movement that we will do is our famous plank press up, where the goal is very simple. I need you to press your shoulders up into the ceiling as high as possible, and Kenneth is immediately going to show you what the scaling option will be, while William will show you the RX option for this one. Let's get started, guys. In the elbows we start, and we start off with the right. Boom. So William goes all the way up to a plank and long arms and moves back. You can alternate the reps, where you can do 5 reps in one direction, 5 reps in the other direction. Again, I did say one direction. And then you're going to look at the scaling option of Kenneth, where he just lifts up an elbow one at a time, and he is fighting the rotation, because obviously you want to tilt to the side once you pull something off the floor, and we're trying to fight that as much as we possibly can. Solid, guys. Rest for a second. Now our third movement will be lifting up the legs, alternate, in a plank. So we call that an alternating plank leg lift, or switch the words and it's still exactly the same. So the scaling is not existing. So let's get into our plank. We are on long arms now because we finished our last press up and we're still on long arms. So we're going to lift up a leg, squeezing our butt. While we do this, I want you to aim by keeping your hips in line with the shoulder. Wait, can you get your hips slightly lower? Here we go, buddy, that is good. Squeeze your butt and lift up a long leg. So the hamstring and glutes are working here, but again, we're also fighting the tilt over because of the balance is changing every time we pull a leg off the floor. And normally we did this for 10 reps, and now suddenly we're doing this for sets of 20. Let's take a quick break and let's go to the fourth and final movement of our plank complex. And what is that? It is the shoulder tap, our famous. We start with the right, we pull to the right shoulder, we go back, we pull to the left shoulder, we go back. Let's have a look at that. And now I want, again, William legs together, Kenneth legs wide. And let's start with the right arm and get some shoulder taps. Good. Now the idea again, guys, legs together means you have to fight harder for the balance. Legs wider means it is easier on the balance because you have a broader base of support, which was the line I was looking for before as well. It is time to get started on our, let's go to our plank complex challenge today. We're going to have those 4 movements for 10 reps, 10 reps, 20 reps, and 20 reps. I need you guys to get off the couch and join this one with us from the get-go. We'll do 3 rounds in total, 1 round with you, and you do 2 rounds on your own. Let's get started, guys. I need you to start on a plank on your elbows, on long legs, and we're going to do starting in 3, 2, 1, go. We are rotating, we're aiming for the ceiling with the arm in rotation. Try to get your arms long, Kenny, in the top position. Solid, bro. That is good. William has that smaller base of support, which makes it slightly harder. And Ken has his legs a bit wider, that makes it a bit easier. Which is all good. After 10 repetitions of the plank rotation, you move to 10 repetitions of the alternating plank press up. Or you do 5 reps in one direction and 5 reps in the other. That is also fine. Ken is taking quick breaks in between the movements. We do not consider that this is suddenly scaled. We do consider that a slightly easier variation. Again, quality is most important here. You want to hold your proper plank throughout the entire complex. William, I want you to fight your plank by keeping your hips in line with the shoulder. Very solid for all 10 reps. And then after the 10th rep of the plank press up, we suddenly go to the leg lifts. And now we do 20 alternating lifts here. 20 alternating lifts of the legs going on. Let's go. Nice, good correction there, William. Guys, if you feel like your butt is shooting up at home as well, I want you to either take a break or continue and just bring your butt back in line with the shoulders here. There we go. Straight leg lifts for 20 alternating reps. Perfect round here. Perfect round. This is a lot of volume, and yes, we're in a plank, but probably your shoulders are taking most of the taxing here because you're leaning into this babies the entire time. And it's still 60 reps of doing stuff in a plank, right? That's pretty rough. Upon completion of the 20th leg lift, the only thing you have left is that shoulder tap. And if you feel like your plank is starting to get in a bad position, I want you to correct that and then finish off with the shoulder tap. So what was totally okay was William was aiming to do it unbroken. He felt his plank was getting worse, so what he did, we took just a quick break at home as well. It is not maintain at all costs. No, it is maintain a proper plank. That is most important here. 20 reps of the shoulder tap is all you need to finish, William. Fight it in a strong posture, bro. Here we go. And upon completion of the 20, then we take a longer break. Yes. So how long do you rest now? As long as is necessary for you to complete the next round close to unbroken and then the third one as well. So continue and press pause. Like I said in the beginning of the video, it is time to get jacked. The focus point of today's workout is arms, right? You're gonna get some pressing going, some push-up action, and some curls in there, right? Grow those babies, very important. Now, it's only 5 rounds, so I want you to aim for quality and for a very big squeeze at the end of every rep that you do. Now, let's have a look at the 2 movements. You're going to need your elastic band, so grab that elastic band and try it out while we're demoing this for you. The first one is gonna be you standing on the band, holding the band in your hands, making sure your palms face upwards, and then we're going to curl the band towards the shoulder or towards the chin. Most important thing is we try to only bend from the elbow and keep the upper arm in the same position throughout and use those biceps to do the work. Now to make this harder, you can grab the band a bit lower. William, can you grab the band a bit lower while Kenneth continues? Good, so more tension on the band means tougher bicep curl. It's a very simple way of scaling. What should your decision-making process be to scale or not? 20 reps should be done unbroken, which should be very tough to do. Now, let's say that we have some issue with the elbow that makes it very tough for us to do that flexion from the elbow, so that bicep action going along. We can then sub the movement for a tricep movement. You just wrap it around like a necklace. You make sure you start with the arms at like a 90-degree angle. From there, the pinky is pointing down. You're going to press down while the pinky is pointing back. So then suddenly we have tricep push downs with a band around the neck. If this hurts your neck, you can put like a towel around your neck or something, or wear collars while you're doing this. That would be the perfect solution though. Good. Now, that is the first movement of 2. Bands go to the side. We're now going to do one we've done before, and that is the double push-up burpee. Now, off the get-go, this is not your classic burpee, although the jumping element is in there. The most important thing is that every time you need to go to the floor and back up, which is now suddenly twice, it needs to be a perfect push-up to get a very different stimulus. Okay, let's have a look at a couple of double push-up burpees of both the gentlemen. Here we go. So they're hitting that push-up in the catch position right away, and they drive firmly out of that push-up and jump right up. Now the idea is that if you would scale this, William, you can stop now. If you want to scale this because the push-up is hard, I want you to just worm your way down. I'm okay with that, but I want you to hold the plank twice for a quick second. Let's show another one, Kenneth. You can just go to the floor, boom, you worm, you hold it, you worm again, you hold it, and then you jump back up. Rest. So you're still hitting the proper plank position every time you do it in a push-up, so twice in this case. Now let's say that you have an injury that says you can jump. You cannot jump first. That means you walk everything and you try to do a burpee. Oh, that was a jump. That's okay. You can do an extra push-up. So let's do it again. So not jumping means we walk, we either do the push-up or we do the worm into plank, and then we walk back. That's rest. Now what also might happen is that you cannot press because of a shoulder or a tricep injury, or one of those 2, or maybe both of them, which would be very sad, but still. Then we would do a kickback, but instead of doing the push-up then, we're gonna do 6 shoulder taps instead. Let's show me a set of that. So you go into your plank, you do your shoulder taps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then you go back out of the plank and stand up. That would be a perfect scaling option for not pressing at all. Alright, let's get jacked. Let's get started. I need you guys to get off the couch because we're gonna get that big pump going right now. Grab your band, go stand on that thing, wait for me to count down. If you have your SmartWatt app ready, make sure it is set on 4 time and get your time cap at approximately 8 minutes. That should be all you need to get a good pump. Okay, you guys are ready as well? Let's do this. We're gonna count you down. We're gonna start in 3, 2, 1, let's go. So we have 20 curls to start off with. This can be pretty quick as long as you have control on the way down as well. So the tempo can be pretty damn fast, and we're looking to just squeeze that bicep and move that elbow through flexion by bringing the hand towards the shoulder while we hold the band in there. Now to make it harder, you can just grab your hands lower and create more tension on the band while going through all 20 repetitions. I think they're passing the halfway point right now. We're about 30 seconds into this. He's actually done already, that is perfect. And then you move right into the double push-up burpee. Now Kenneth is scaling the double push-up burpee by doing a worm, but then holding the plank for a second. William is going for that tough double push-up burpee with the true push-up in there. Every push-up he does, even when he just goes to the floor, is intended to be a true push-up. You're never just laying on the floor like you would in a regular burpee. You're always focusing on constant tension throughout and using your pressing muscles to drive yourself up, but also to control yourself on the way down. The scaling option is also very good because you still do the range of motion and you can do some extra plank work in there. The challenge in the scaling is to actually lower yourself like you would in a push-up and worm your way out of there. Now they're about 1 minute and 20 seconds in. William is going to get ready for his second round, so the 8-minute cap is going to be good, but challenging at the same time, because at this speed it would be done in probably 7.5 minutes, but I think 8 minutes of arms is plenty enough to get a good bump going from here on. Now, that was just 1 round. It is 5 rounds in total. You're going to do 4 more, so continue and press pause.